This program is presented by International Container Terminal Services, Inc. Excellence Uncontained. RC Cola.
Thank you for joining us here at Business and Beyond. Business and economists prescribe three important factors to increase investments and economic growth: infrastructure, infrastructure, infrastructure. The government is responding by allocating at least 5% of the country's GDP on infrastructure.
Other than the new projects, focus is also on fast-tracking the implementation of pending works, which have heavy impact on movements, goods, people, employment, and business plans.
Industries, including tourism, are looking at the successful implementations of these projects to boost revenues.
In the meantime, we have the summary of the major business news in the past week.
Food exporters and farmers are out to incur huge losses once Japan and South Korea implement the Zero Maximum Residue Limit, or MRL, on mangoes and bananas starting January 2017. MRL is the maximum concentration of pesticide residue which is legally permitted in food and animal feeds. It is usually recommended by the Codex Alimentarius Commission, according to the Food and Agriculture Organization, or FAO. Roberto C. Amores, president of the Philippine Food Processors and Exporters Organization, Inc., said that the Philippine government should intervene and appeal for a reconsideration by the two countries, which are major buyers of Philippine bananas and mangoes. Noting that reforms will affect business in a major way, government tax reform advocates in a forum and dialogue requested business to submit their positions on the bills filed to help ensure that this will truly be equitable, effective, and competitive. Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez III said that the new administration's proposed measures consist of taxes on personal income and consumption, corporate income, capital income, as well as revenue offsetting measures. International Container Terminal Services, Inc. Excellence Uncontained. RC Cola. International Container Terminal Services, Inc. Excellence Uncontained. RC Cola.
The past administration has been widely criticized for its failure to deliver much-needed infrastructure to bridge and move people and goods. To talk to us about their catch-up plan, we are pleased to have with us the lead of the Department of Public Works and Highways Policy and PPP Group, Undersecretary Maria Catalina Cabral.
Thank you and good morning to all viewers.
What are the lessons from the past that you are using now to provide better public service?
DPWH is a lead construction agency of government. We're building massive infrastructure not just in Metro Manila but also all over the country. Undersecretary Villar, he has instructed our field officials to initiate the creation of an infrastructure monitoring advisory group, which will actually comprise local government officials and national government agencies to untangle yung mga bottlenecks sa construction, especially at the field level. Secretary's instruction, especially for Metro Manila and yung mga urban cities, is to do a 24/7 work schedule.
So yung issue ng traffic as you do the work, and then yung coordination with other government agencies, yung convergence is very important.
Yes, that's true.
Yes, so how are you addressing that now?
We're completing our tourism road infrastructure program, which we started in the past. These are roads leading to tourist destinations which are identified in the master plan of the Department of Tourism. We're now starting to talk with the Department of Trade and Industry for a convergence program, possible convergence program, to focus on the linkages for supply chain. Because DTI has also, I believe, completed a master plan for national logistics. And this will involve critical roads leading to manufacturing sites, diba? Mga factories, industries.
Ma'am, for the first 100 days, ano na po yung natapos and you plan to do by the end of the 100th day and then by the end of the 60th?
We're very happy to tell the public that we have already opened the first phase of the NAIA Expressway. We just opened it last week. And then the full completion of the system will be done before Christmas. And then the other day, we just issued the notice of award for the first PPP transport project under President Duterte's administration, and this is the Endless SLEX connector. The other connector, which we per schedule will be completed by 2022. Pero ang instruction ni Secretary Villar, we need to finish this by 2021.
Paano po yung traffic na makikreate because of the project?
We understand. So we always beg for the indulgence of the public na medyo pagpasensyahan yung mga traffic, na makikreate because of this massive construction. And we want to also decongest Metro Manila. Diba? We want to create more industries outside so that people would be encouraged to move outside Metropolitan Manila.
So you have higher budget now?
Yes. President Duterte and the Department of Finance has indicated higher spending for infrastructure versus the GDP, and we're targeting about 7% of that. If we're going to hit 1 trillion in the next 2 years, half of it will be implemented by the Department of Public Works and Highways, but not just in Metro Manila.
DPWH is a model agency, So where are you now in that area?
We continue a lot of the reforms in the DPWH. Secretary Villar has instructed to review also the performance of our field offices, our regional directors, and our district engineers. So higher authority, more projects if you have a good performance.
Sige ma'am, any message to the public?
Rest assured na yung mga proyekto ng ginagawa ng Department of Public Works and Highways ay inaayos namin as far as cost, quality, at time. So marami po kaming proyekto, hindi lang sa Metro Manila, and kung may mga complaint po kayo, mga tanong, meron po kaming text 2920, meron kaming Facebook, we're in social media as well, and meron kaming 724 hotline. Kung meron kayong mga nakikitang trabaho na hindi maayos, hindi maganda, ang bilin ng aming secretary, ni Secretary Villar, ay ipaalam agad sa kanya. At para matugunan namin ito, At pagpasensyahan nyo na po kung medyo nata-traffic tayo sa lahat. We have a lot of projects, and we hope these projects will ease up traffic in the next 2 to 3 years.
Alright,
Thank you
salamat
so
po,
much.
Yusek, for your time. Business and Beyond will be back.
International Container Terminal Services, Inc. Excellence Uncontained. RP Cola. International Container Terminal Services, Inc. Excellence Uncontained. RP Cola.
Welcome back to Talking Business of Business and Beyond. The 2016 World Bank Ease of Doing Business report showed the Philippine rank declining from 95th to 103rd out of 189 economies surveyed in terms of movement of goods. Among the factors weighing down this performance is the lack of infrastructure that made goods more expensive. Business and Beyond discusses the issue with the chairman of the Export Development Council, Transportation and Logistics Committee, and the National Competitiveness Council Infrastructure Committee so that we can get insights and possible recommendations on the matter. We welcome Mr. Manileo J. Carlos. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
What can we learn from past mistakes that can help guide public and private sector partnership towards policy making and project implementation for infrastructure, sir?
We are suffering from lack of infrastructure to support the development. We've been growing pretty fast, and the faster you want to grow, the more infrastructure you need. But the secret there is how to anticipate the needs of development. No longer is it possible to just grow with 2% of GDP. And I'm very happy to hear that this new administration is even aiming for 7%. We've also learned that the private sector is willing to come in.
Parang we were not prepared for growth, diba? Parang very short-sighted yung developments.
I think good governance has been lacking in many cases, and as a result, the funds have not been properly applied. We have not been collecting as much as our neighbors, for example. I think we're only collecting something in the order of maybe 15% of GDP, whereas other countries are doing already in the 20 level. That means that we really have to borrow. I'm glad that the past administration was able to bring up our credit rating enough to keep us in AAA or whatever you call it.
So let's say we are able to borrow and we have the money and we have the partnership with private sector already.
Yeah.
If we are to choose, what are the priority projects in certain infrastructure areas?
Right now we're in a firefighting mode, okay, traffic congestion and so forth. But even as we're solving that, we have to really begin to look at what will we need next. For example, in the case of seaports, we should be looking at putting up the dock away from the centers of population. It's a matter now of saying this is a long-term master plan, and let's go for it that way. Then all the other elements, like industry, agro-industry, commerce, etc., can then figure out how do I connect my international trade that way.
So that's for seaports. What about
for the airports? Many of our provincial airports may need to have night landing facilities in order to be able to fit in with the schedule of the congested situation in NAIA. NAIA now is so clogged that maybe they have only a few hours open at odd hours.
What about railways?
They're generally effective when the end-to-end link is about 600 kilometers. That fits Luzon. It fits Mindanao. It probably does not fit the smaller islands.
Okay, what about roads? Connector roads, farm-to-market roads?
I think the farm-to-market roads are there, but the best way to bridge these islands together are by Roro. They connect port to port, not point to point, not closest point to closest point. That is where I think the change has to be done. It's a very, very nice way to go into interconnect the whole archipelago.
This seems to be very complicated. No? In terms of governance, seaports is a different agency, airports is a different agency, railways, etc. The traffic as well. Do you think there is need for a super body, a council to be institutionalized so that you have all these players in one group, coordinating, talking together? Or is it, or the Export Development Council has a committee, the NCC has a committee under your chairmanship?
But
is this enough?
You know, Lisa, I think we've been doing the job well enough to just rather than act as a council, I think we just act as a committee, feed it to Export Council, let them deliver the message. We touch on an issue when it's necessary, And when it's resolved or it's already in the hands of the implementer, tapos na.
Sir, I think your committees will be very busy in the next 6 years. So good luck. And thank you again for talking with us.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Thank you, sir. Business and Beyond will be back.
International Container Terminal Services Inc. Excellence Uncontained. RC Cola. International Container Terminal Services Inc. Excellence Uncontained. RC Cola.
We're back at Business and Beyond. Tell me a progressive city and most likely there is an international or domestic port nearby to support its growth. Port development requires huge capital outlay plus the right regulatory and developmental environment for it to succeed and expand. We have with us the Senior Vice President and Regional Head of the Asia Pacific and the Manila International Container Terminal of the International Container Terminal Services Inc. to share with us what lies ahead. Welcome to Business and Beyond, Mr. Christian Gonzalez. Thank you, sir, for joining us here.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Right. So since MICT was set up in the late 80s,
Yes,
right?
correct.
What has changed and what has not changed?
From an infrastructure point of view, of course, what's changed is the layout and general infrastructure of the port. To now a very bustling, fully expanded container terminal that is at par with some of the best container terminals in the world.
How would you say is the port development in the country in general?
So speaking for ICTSI, at our facility, this place can stand toe-to-toe with the best container terminals in Asia. I think from a Philippine countrywide point of view, I would say the infrastructure is poor. If you're only looking at Luzon, I think it's rather good.
What kind of support do you need so that you go to this developmental project?
Certainly security over the investment, right? You're not going to put $200, $300 million into a project and the contract's rolling 1 year.
So the GDP has been growing in the past years, no? But again, you get problems such as congestion in the past. Is that because of the lack of infrastructure, the inadequate infrastructure? Did we not prepare for growth?
We've always focused quite seriously on the port. And since the port functioned very, very well, nobody really feared what would happen if there was a truck back. I think it's really studying where the cargo goes or how we can kind of change the way the cargo moves. We did that by putting in an appointment system for trucks. So you actually have fewer trucks at any given time around the city. There's only really 4,000, 5,000 trucks a day that move container cargo around the city, compared to hundreds of thousands or even millions of vehicles.
What specific projects would you like fast track in this administration, the first year?
Metro Pacific has a project to get a port connector road in. Of course, more support for the systems that we're putting in, firmer traffic management, and support for rail and bar.
The private sector has this advocacy on the conflict in the interest of PPA, the regulatory and developmental. What is your position?
Most of the ports around the Philippines have to be operated by the government. So PPA has to be an operator. There's nobody else qualified. Look at the amount of money that PPA has been able to collect by being a regulator, the amount that they actually contribute to the national treasury, and comparing it to less efficient ports around the world, we're much cheaper and productivity at par.
Yet we're saying we have the highest shipping costs.
Domestic shipping costs. The domestic lines have a major disadvantage because they don't have the same facilities to work with.
Christmas season is approaching and we do not want a repeat of the congestion.
Basta walang truck ban, walang problema. We have to balance the needs of the people and the needs of the economy, right? But there are other ways to ensure that you don't have traffic out there. Remember, the goods still need to get to the stores.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Maraming salamat.
Business and Beyond will be back.
If you chance to pass by Clark, Pampanga, we recommend to stop by Deco Central, a one-stop shop establishment featuring top-of-the-line and world-renowned Kapampangan furnitures.
Hi, we would like to invite you to come and visit Deco Central here in Clark, Pampanga. We have the best furniture available in the market at the moment. We have 18 companies of the best manufacturers of furniture in Pampanga. We have diverse products from classical, contemporary, and traditional items, which will be very much at an affordable prices that everybody would love and enjoy. Come and visit us. We're open every day from Monday to Sunday at 9 in the morning until 6 in the evening.
Seeing the collections will definitely make you decide to renovate your living room and bedroom design, and their irresistible decors, fixtures, and accessories.
Come and enjoy the best of Pampanga in terms of furniture and home accessories. You will never go wrong if you come and visit us.
For 4 years now, members of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce Incorporation and the Employees Confederation of the Philippines have been celebrating a mid-autumn revelry in the Chinese tradition, more popularly known as the Mooncake Festival.
There's a history behind it. At that time, they were under Mongols. So, but they have no way of communicating because they were thinking of having a revolt. So, ang ginawa nila, naglagay sila ng mga message dito sa mooncake. Kasi, ang mooncake, it falls on the 15th day of the 8th month. Lunar calendar following that, the moon is full. So, it's a tradition na bibigay sila ng cake, mooncake or hopia. Naglagay sila ng mga secret message. So, when that was being shared, alam nila, may coded message na when they will have the revolt. So that was why it has been followed all these years, naging trend.
They have also introduced innovations to make the game more exciting.
And the game is fun, and there are some things that pag ikaw nanalo, ikaw bibili na kopya next year.
Kasi swerte yun eh. Kung nanalo ka, it means you are blessed with good luck. It's nice for us to have a get-together with our spouses. It's a social affair, and it becomes a memorable event.
For me, it's just camaraderie and enjoyment for the husband and wives of PCCI, and I'm sure the tradition that the President Barcelona started will really go through all this next years.
It's a jolly thing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Para na sa Wimbledon.
We are inviting you to have your Christmas shopping at the 30th Buy Pinoy Exporters Fair on October 17 to 23 at merienda. Monday to Thursday it will be 10 to 9, and Friday to Sunday it will be 10 to 10. Whenever you buy Filipino-made products, remember, you save and you create jobs.
This ends our half-hour exchange of insights and ideas. Do check out our social media accounts that right on your screens.
Always remember, connections matter. Here at
Business and Beyond.
Asan yung mic?
Isang basa. Tayo.
This program was presented by International Container Terminal Services, Inc. Excellence Uncontained. RC Cola.